Once it is that you have committed a gruesome action such as murder, I believe, in my humble opinion, that you have forfeited your right to life.
Hello, good people, and welcome to the EWS show again. This is episode 3. And today, as you can see, we have a very special guest with us. She's a God-fearing woman. She's our constant chair. She's a law student, and she's a scholar. And you all may not know her, or some may know her, but it's Annalise Tom.
Hi guys, thank you for having me.
So, Annalise, how does it feel to be our first guest on the EWS show?
Well, exciting, I guess, because I find what you're doing is really incredible, and it's something that is needed from the break from law school or the break from
Yeah.
So a little laugh on a Friday afternoon, you know.
Sure.
Yeah.
And we are excited, very, very excited to have you here, our first guest. Stevenson, you want to tell the people a little bit about what this episode is about?
Oh,
Stevenson excited about us, you know.
Today we're going to talk about a topic that is very near and dear to my heart. And it's none other than the death penalty. For some people, they find out the death penalty is a controversial topic. Some people kind of decide on whether or not they actually want the death penalty or do not want the death penalty because of human rights issues, because of
Before we get into
and all that.
Let's ask our guest. Annalise, what are your views on death penalty? Yes? No? Somewhat.
Well, I'm a person. I believe that we as humans don't have the right to kill other people, right? Understandable, right? Leave that to the maker, right? But I guess in certain circumstances, I can understand why people see a need fit to execute someone because you took a life. But that is just my stance.
You want to tell them?
It comes from a moral place, but you know, yeah.
Actually, not you. I'm actually going to tell them your stance on the death penalty.
So my stance is it depends on how gruesome the crime is. And when I say how gruesome the crime is, what is really touching me in our society today, especially in our country, Trinidad and Tobago, is gang members, whoever it may be, are watching innocent people killing innocent people. They are watching a 5-year-old. How could you watch a 5-year-old and shoot a 5-year-old 5 times or more? Come on, be so for real.
I get it.
Stevenson?
Well, my thing is this, and it's real simple. The death penalty should be reserved for the evil. Well, I don't want to say the evil or the evil, but I want to reserve it for the people that feel as though they are above the law, right? I believe.
People, I want to know who these people are. People who feel like
Well, in my opinion, these people are the monstrosity of evil, right? They commit heinous crimes, gruesome crimes, as Amaris would have mentioned. Why would you, or how is it fathomable that you could allow or keep somebody who killed a child, a 5-year-old child, in society? We need to at least say to ourselves that this sort of action or these actions are not permissible in any way, shape, or form. And there's nothing a prison or there's nothing that reformative justice could do that could correct that issue.
wow.
All right.
Stevenson, hash.
My viewpoint is very simple. No.
Just no.
Just
And why?
no. We will get into why.
Oh,
Let's start with why.
No.
Let's start with why.
yeah, come on.
Let's go into the effectiveness of having the death penalty as a sentence. So we all know that the death penalty has been around for a good bit of years, right? And there are many countries that use the death penalty. There are countries that don't use the death penalty. And if you check the statistics, because I did my research, I wouldn't call exactly where the research come from.
Research, baby.
But
And you said terrible research.
we are not in the court
Then
here.
pack it up and go.
We are not in the court here. We are not having any debate here with no timer, no point system or nothing, right?
Right.
Right. So according to research, And all of you did the research as well, so you all know.
Research from
Right?
what?
I
Research
wasn't
from
privy.
where
I
though?
wasn't privy
From
to
since year one,
research.
probably is saying.
I can't remember.
These countries that actually use the death penalty and those that don't use the death penalty, their crime rate, there's no drastic change, there's no drastic difference, there's nothing really to say, well, you know what, if we use the death penalty, we're gonna have less crime.
Yeah.
No.
I have a question for that.
Mhm.
How do you measure effectiveness if the death penalty is not being used?
No,
Well-
right. So that's why he's making the comparison, and I agree with him.
Thank you.
With countries that actually have it in their system actively.
Okay,
So, for instance, the United States, we know they have different states with different laws, right?
Correct.
They made comparisons with states that have the death penalty enacted versus those that don't. New York is
Right.
one of them that does not have it enacted versus, I think, like Texas or something. They notice the difference in the crime rate, and it's literally no big comparison.
Yeah, it's no big comparison, but then so that is one factor, right? If depending on whether or not a state or a country does use the death penalty. Another factor that we have to consider is the social circumstances in that particular country, like
Okay.
what motivates persons to commit crime and so forth.
Yeah.
Thoughts?
I agree. Because it's all about, because we know that where there's high unemployment, people are much more motivated to commit crimes.
Right.
Especially crimes that are gruesome or high profile, right? So there will be a necessity, long story short, where in a state or a country there's economic downturn, for sure.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying.
And the thing is, in my opinion, the death penalty is a form of punishment. It's not necessarily correlated to the fact of trying to bring down the crime rate in any way, shape, or form. Is a form of punishment. It's the same way as throwing somebody that committed theft or petty theft or whatever and throwing them in prison. That is just another form of punishment. Some might
You
say,
say that the death penalty is the, let's say, that is
The most extreme.
Yes, but what I wanted to say was the death penalty, that is all that is. It is a punishment, it's a sentence.
correct.
Okay,
Correct.
so therefore should not be used to tailor crime. If you understand what I say. If it's something used to sentence somebody for doing wrong, it shouldn't be used as a measure or as a effective remedy. I don't know.
They basically shouldn't put it on a
Because that
scale
is
then.
right. That is not what it was created for. It was basically, if I'm looking at all this side, eye for eye, a tooth for a tooth. You killed somebody from our society. You wronged society. Therefore, you must pay with your own life. That's all.
Correct.
That's your argument.
And then, and I like how you say that as well. The thing about it is that once, and I always answer it to him as well, once it is that you have committed a gruesome act such as murder, I believe, in my humble opinion, that you have forfeited your right to life. That is just me.
Okay.
I believe if you commit a
Very harsh when it
very
comes to this.
gruesome murder, you have instantaneously forfeited your right to life under the Constitution. That is just me.
Okay, I know you may see me a little quiet this episode, but time to get into it. So first, I like the point you made: that eye for eye, a tooth for a tooth. Right? We, as I don't want to presume, but I'm sure all of us are Christians here, right? And religion plays a big role in our society, in Trinidadian society. Right? God plays a big role. It's part of our constitution as well, right? So, I always bring that religious perspective. So, in using that religious perspective, not to say right or wrong, because in any debate, really, there's no really right or wrong, right? We all need to discuss these things to have greater change in society. But anyway, back to what I was saying, right? Eye for eye, tooth for tooth. So, in using the religious perspective, we have moved away from that Moses law, in a sense, right? Now, where we have grace. So, don't you guys believe in grace? So, you said, wait, I don't want to say you don't believe in grace. But for criminals, you don't believe in grace because you said,
I'm not talking about the man.
Don't generalize
Exactly.
it. Don't generalize it.
I'm not talking about the man that decided to run. I'm talking about cold-hearted people.
Okay, well,
Correct.
so you said murderers, cold-hearted murderers, right? You said they forfeit their right to life, right?
Correct.
Okay. You as an individual, are I don't know why I'm targeting you right now, but
Target me. Target me.
That's his point.
I'm gonna make sure.
You as an individual, right? Are you not appreciative of human rights? Universal Human Rights Declaration, these treaties and things that came out. Are you not appreciative of it? You can't tell me that's okay. That's
yeah, I am. But that's why it's good to have very
and
few.
all of us as Caribbean people that
Right.
went through slavery and stuff in the
Our
past. Are we
ancestors.
not
Our
appreciative?
ancestors.
Anyhow, are we not appreciative of the Human Rights Convention?
I am.
Okay, right.
Yeah.
So you agree that you are appreciative of the human rights, right? So now how can we be appreciative of human rights and we want human rights, but when it starts protecting criminals who are in fact humans, how
Really?
could we not?
They are humans? A man? No, hold on. A person? Hold on. You trying to tell me that a person that killed a 5-year-old child, that's a human being to you? That person is still human in your eyes?
In the physical sense,
Please
I
tell
am
me.
human.
You have something to say
So
outside?
you all know the story about the 12-year-old that like suffocated the 8-year-old over a phone.
From which conversation?
Right. Yeah.
No, and I
And they
want to
convicted the 12-year-old of murder.
Right.
And she was
Yeah.
sentenced to juvenile prison.
Right.
So you all know-
Yeah.
So what she did was she suffocated the 8-year-old, right? And then she turned her body to make it look like she died in her sleep. So she basically tampered with the evidence.
Mhm.
You all take the 12-year-old. Who's saying yes to the death penalty here? You think they should kill that 12-year-old?
No, we get
That is
into
not
that.
what we're
We get into that
We
point.
get into that
Because I
point.
was going to raise it later in the episode. But go ahead,
No, I had finished my point. Is he not was talking?
Yes, but at some point when a person is born, right, they become flesh, right? They have a soul, they have, a purpose, right? They are still human, even though their psyche is not there. They don't have like a physical. Well, the brain is not all there. They don't have all the faculties. They are still human. Somebody who's in a vegetative state, you will say they're not human. They are vegetable.
I find you're twisting.
Yeah, no, but
You're twisting this argument. You're twisting it.
Well, it's twisting it.
It's like always
That's
just
why
it's like always digging a hole and always
You
just twisting it. Always just
You
turning
said
it back.
They
criminal.
forfeit their rights.
to me, and
Right,
they're not
but-
human.
But those
That's
are
what you said.
cold-hearted
Yeah, but
murderers
they
we're
are
talking
still-
about. We
they
are
are
not
still
talking about
humans.
persons who have a certain health condition and so forth.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
That is a different. That's a whole
At
different.
the end of the day,
No.
are they humans too? Are they not supposed to benefit from human rights as well?
Yes.
So,
that
see,
makes
because you
sense.
don't believe, okay, you don't believe they are able to change. That person do a wrong and they just like that for the rest of their life.
Not necessarily.
So let's say, all right, you when you were younger, you kill a dog, right? And I'm saying that is what they did,
What would he change?
right?
I'm sure he probably killed a pet or something.
Oh my
Well,
God.
I
She
mean,
said that's the general. But no.
wait, right,
Okay, so the
right.
pigeon. So it was like a week little, and I can't shame to tell the story.
So exactly,
Listen. So
so you can kill a poor
the pigeon was kind of weird. I was trying to, like, and I was using wood, like a piece of 2x4, and I was trying to like guide it to go away. And I just end up like smushing it.
Yeah, and
I don't think
I
it
think
was
I
that.
had that
even
measure
funny.
and that actor serious.
That's not even funny earlier.
On the picture.
That's
I
not
don't
funny,
think
yeah?
I don't think that is.
All right, let's not talk about that.
So imagine, right? We all have done things in society. We have done wrong things or whatever.
Mhm.
Grace is something that each and every one of us need in society.
I
So
understand.
for me to say that a criminal or a murderer stuff, like I understand exactly what y'all are saying because I mean y'all know I would have lost my good friend or whatever to gunshots or whatever.
Yeah.
And the only thought I could have had in my mind was people who didn't need it to die. Honestly.
I agree.
But when you think about it, there's an eternal death for them, whether or not they get away or you give them the death penalty.
So in other
or
words,
they
we
Right.
spend
should not
life
play
in
God.
prison.
That's
Exactly.
what I was saying. We
And
should not say, who are
is
we
asked
to
to
kill
take life?
somebody? Exactly. And you didn't even make life.
And who is them to take life?
Exactly.
And,
At the same
and this
time.
another
At the
point I
same
was
time.
going and raised. The death penalty is a form of justice, especially for family members and so forth. For those family members not to take it into their own hands to go after the persons who murder their family member.
Right. But the first point we were talking about is how effective it is in deterring crime. And on that stance, you might see it as a point to, like you say, justice, but I don't think it effectively deters crime. Because we have it in our books, it's just we don't use it. Yes,
No, wait. So, guys, y'all may hear this foreign voice. There's this person here that was watching
My
this
name is
film.
Mahalia.
Wait, I didn't get to that yet. You see the disrespect? So, her name is Mahalia, and she had a little input. So, let's hear from.
Right. So all they're saying the death penalty is a form of what type of justice all they say?
It's a sentence, it's a method of
Punishment.
So all they're
punishment.
saying like the person who committed murder then have a right to kill the person they killed, right? So how does the justice system have a right to kill that person?
Because it empowers the state to take action. It's the same way how the
But
state
that's
has the
their point,
ability.
but yeah.
The state has the ability to throw somebody who commit a gruesome
Why
a
does
crime.
the state have that ability if we all human and we all have rights?
So the state should not punish. That we're trying to
No,
say.
no, we're not saying the state shouldn't punish, but to take a life is something different. Because when we really get into it, it's like, aren't we just perpetuating the cycle of killing?
But there's a
Yeah,
difference
too wrong to
between.
make
I know exactly because there's
Even
difference
getting
between killing and oh gosh.
I don't see the
I'm getting
difference,
it.
to be honest, because your method of killing is just really like shooting somebody
Yeah, you are
for
just
poison.
justified then. Justified killing.
According to your law, you're justified.
Justified. So like
That's
when
it.
so when you think it's right when the state, like let's say, I don't know call it, but when they bomb, let's say
Shoot up a school dog.
yeah, let's say because there's criminal activity going on, right? And for the better or good in society, they need to bomb that area and they kill innocent people as well. You believe that that's correct as well?
I've seen-
that's
I've-
justifiable.
I haven't read any facts about it, but I've seen they made movies like that where innocent people had to suffer for the greater good of society. I've seen movies like that, and I have no doubt that that is something that has probably happened in
So
real life.
you think that is morally correct? Because I want to get into the morality
Wait,
of the
wait.
death penalty itself.
And in the most recent the Palestine situation, all those people died. So the people who killed them should be killed as well. That's what you're saying. Like they should find each and every single person who sent a bomb, sent a threat, shoot a gun.
But
Yeah,
but you
let's
see,
think about mass
but you
murder.
see that's something that's going on country to country. What Stevenson and I are talking about
Is
here
state
is more on
specific,
the
yeah.
individual level. Is
Okay.
more about what's going on
In the
and the
country.
level of crime that is happening in our country today, in our small twin island today.
Why is they not? Where you think they should? Okay, so you're saying like yes, they should enforce the death penalty, right? But where you think they should? Why is they not doing that? And where you think they should do?
Because of constitutional
last
challenges.
person who
I'll
who
get
had
to
the
that.
death penalty was Doji.
Mhm.
And if the death
Actually, it was a
penalty-
man named Joshua something. It wasn't Dochi.
What year that was?
It was after 2000. They wasn't supposed to hang him until some date, but they just didn't get it passed. I will look it up. But I remember Joshua saying.
Okay, and I want to get into what she said as well. Let's skip morality for a second, right? Because that's getting heated at this moment. Let's go into
Heated.
the legal implications of the death penalty itself. Okay, so let's start off with maybe how the death penalty was even created, where it came from, right? So we know the death penalty is within the savings clause of our constitution, right? Which is something that stems from colonial rule, colonial powers and stuff, right? So for my take on that is one, we all claim that we want to be free, that we are free, we are emancipated, we have freedom in a sense, right? We are republic, you know?
It's
these
not
kind of
freedom in
things.
a sense, it's freedom.
Okay, right. So we are free as a people, right? Then why do we still want to hold on to laws that have been created since then, or laws that are tied to colonial rule in a sense? I know you may say that okay, we haven't just been like these laws wasn't imposed on us, we could go into imposition, reception. That's not something we will discuss now, but LLS, we can go into a little imposition and reception and stuff as well. And you may say that, well, we had the choice to keep the laws as well, right?
Mhm.
But for my take with this, my take with this situation here is that, okay, the death penalty is something that stems from colonial power. Why do we still want to hold on to something and still claim that we want freedom or that we are free? It's like having a cake and eating it as well. What are your thoughts on that?
Who says we cannot? We're free, we emancipated, independent republic. If we choose to keep something, we choose to keep something.
But why I think they chose to keep it? Like, why I think we still have it as the what do you call it? What do you call it?
Savings law.
Same law.
Well, yeah, but why we choose to keep it, but we're not enforcing it? That was the question.
We can't
We
enforce it.
though.
Well, yeah,
Why-
we enforce it, but it doesn't become enforced because it doesn't carry out because when it gets to the Privy Council, they would overturn it because the British has removed that from their law. So why are we still backward? Society is evolving, society is changing. Why are we still stuck?
So because we have that on our books, or if we continue, or if we choose to enforce it means that we are backwards as a society.
Yeah.
There's
Majority.
certainly different forms of that penalty that could happen. Please, thanks.
I'm so glad that you
Yeah.
Majority
do that.
of these great societies have moved on
On
from
from-
Great in what way?
and there are reasons for that.
Great in what way?
I went and checked up this time.
The same UK
Uh-huh.
that robbed from the Caribbean and from the Americas. They're great.
So then why you stay tied to their own laws?
What do you mean tied to their own laws?
We are still. We just went.
Yeah, but most of our statute, let me tell you something. Most of our statute is basically imported from them.
Right.
Most of our statute and laws is
Every
from them. Wait till our book
Every time we are making laws,
People are writing
we are
details. If you guys
looking
are
to
what
other
indigenous human rights, I'm not arguing.
The UK not great, right? But then they want to keep the death penalty in place that stem from them.
Eric, the UK is not good, but I like it just
Listen.
now say we taking laws from them, we looking at the precedent, we looking at the common law. So why we don't just
Change.
that defeats the whole purpose of the whole structure of the law system, the legal system, borrowing from other jurisprudence.
right? But then there's something where they need to take away the authorities in Trinidad.
So
and
then why
Tobago.
not taking all this law? Why
Take
not
it up
change
with
death
them.
penalty? We're taking everything from them.
But why not
we don't
change
change the
it?
death penalty as well?
Because we choose. And we have a right
Anyhow,
to choose.
now I want to
Yeah,
get
let's
to
see what's
the
going
forms
here.
of death penalty, right? So in this lovely picture, hopefully all can see it.
What is that? I don't
This
know
is-
glasses. Oh, okay.
So this is a form of.
Tell them what the form is.
I get into that.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
So that is death by lethal injection, right? So that is basically where they would actually strap the individual into the bed and they will basically insert into their vein a different set of concoctions. And it will basically be as painless as possible. Right? So the process takes like about it depends on how skilled the person is administering the lethal injection. But it usually takes between at least 20 to 40 minutes.
So
Right?
look, like to kill the person.
To kill the person.
So I'm lying on there
So
for
I lie down there
it's
just
40 minutes.
waiting
Like,
to-
Yeah, but it's painless, so you won't even know. Right?
So let's
Okay,
Now we get to a more gruesome one, which is death by electrocution. You'll see now. So again, they would strap the individual into the chair and they would basically charge up the volts and they would shock them to death. As
And
simple
you
as that.
think, right? And this is my problem with these methods, right?
Mm-hmm.
You think, I understand you say a life, right? You're saying lethal injections is painless. But first of all, think about the people from the other side, because in these states, we don't have lethal injections. But think about the family members watching their loved ones die. You don't think that inhumane in itself? Seeing somebody getting shook up, seeing Uncle Bobby on a chair, you don't find that,
But then they have a choice to be there or not.
So if your, God forbid, and I'm saying God forbid, if your loved one end up in the electrocution chair, you don't want to see their final moment.
Yeah, but if it is, then
I
do
mean,
something
I have
wrong.
a choice, and you went out there and commit murder, like.
But at the
murder.
end of the day, that is your mother. That is your sister.
No.
You're trying to pull on me heartstrings, you know.
Is that really?
You're trying to pull on me heartstrings.
No, but you have to think
Yeah.
about, because at the end of the day, it's about humans. Uncle Bobby have a daughter, Charlie.
Well, you should have thought about that before doing
You went and
Okay,
And at the
so-
end of the day, but think about Charlie. Imagine what this doing to a child's psyche.
no child gonna be
No
present for
child-
that.
Wait. Hold up.
Only when a child is watching execution,
hold
you know,
up,
I would have
hold
wanted to
up,
see an
hold up.
execution. when I
There's
was
one
young.
more form that you never brought into consideration here, right? And I think you have a
Hanging.
reason for not bringing it. Hanging.
Yeah, because you might
Public
get,
hanging.
I would have actually wanted to see
Everyone.
one.
Everyone can see. Do you think it's morally justified into society to have these types of punishments? Look, think of the social impact, the psychological impact.
society
the
goes feel
physical
like,
impact.
justice prevail. I think that is
I can
part of
understand.
what society
I can
gonna be
understand the
thinking.
psychological, but what's the social impacts?
Hello.
Hi.
What about the people wrongfully imprisoned and sentenced to death?
Wait.
I know
Before we reach there.
Mhm.
All this guest on the outside, very excited to know
Sorry
that.
about that, guys.
Anyhow, what were you saying? Right, the implications on society. Think of, we just did a mental health episode last week.
I cannot
Think
remember.
Right.
of
I cannot
mentality.
recall.
You can't recall. Think of the mental stress you are putting on individuals, not just the family members, but even those on the outside to even see hanging, see these things
You
going
know, they
on.
have the choice to.
They had a
It
choice,
is a
but I'm not
public
the one
hanging,
to
right?
be present.
They,
One.
is that so that
We
it's,
live in an age with
uh-huh.
cameras,
Technology.
technology. You don't think all on social
you know
media?
the statement. If you don't want to see it, scroll past it.
And you find that does work in all situations. You find
If
that
you don't want to
much
see-
use in all the badness, I'm saying because it does scroll past
Because
it.
of scroll pass.
No, but think about long time public hangings. You used to hear about that on the radio. Somebody a passing by here, two uncles
What
talking
is the
about.
difference between hearing about the public hangings and crime? That always on the
Yeah,
radio, that
always
always
hearing about
like
crime.
every single day.
Yes.
Somebody get murdered,
But-
somebody get this, somebody get that. What's the difference?
Think about when
So what's the psychological impact of that?
it is, and I'm not rejecting your argument that crime doesn't have an effect on your psyche.
Thank you. So
But
let's
it
move on.
as well,
No, because he brought up. We talk about mental health, right?
Let
And-
us speak.
In that episode, I did express the impact that our crime rate has
Has,
on me
exactly.
mentally. So finish up, Annalise.
right? So you just add into the already depressive psyche of the state.
Yeah.
Adam,
Yes, because
Adam.
because imagine you on
Adam.
because how it will happen? They go have it on news, right?
Mhm.
And they will have boom, 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 Dolce died. This person that remember felony murder, right? You have all these people here.
Mhm.
Yeah, one after one. All those who was involved in the crime. You hear them dead one after the next, and you're like, wow.
How will you know if they
Wow.
never pull a trigger?
Okay, and let's actually get into felony murder rule. Because that is something that I like that Annalise brought up. I totally forgot about it. That's not real fake, but anyway.
My chance.
Felony murder rule. For the people, let's
yawn.
explain what is felony murder rule, right?
Yeah.
Well, you bring it up, so you explain.
Actually, Annalise brought it up, but I'll try.
Mhm.
So, I know some of you wanted to know like what we learn in law school and stuff, right? So,
That's
oh
cool.
God, well, whatever we're doing right now, right? The LLB, right? So, we would have learned in CRM that felony murder rule, let's say, for example, let's use an example. I am Mahalia Amaris went to rob a bank.
God forbid.
No. Take me out of the equation.
God
Okay,
forbid.
you and your brother.
Okay, let's
who
say
are
the
that?
four of us and our outside
Who's the four?
guests, right?
What the for? That people behind, huh?
Listen, right?
God forbid.
Let's say all of us go to rob a bank, right?
Mhm.
We go
that's
to
right.
commit a robbery, right?
Mhm.
A crime.
Mhm.
Stevenson decide because you know what? He decided
He must
to walk with a gun and kill the security guard that was
Mm-hmm, that we doing,
there. Right? Right? That we did, right? So he committed the murder. You know what going on? All of us going on for murder.
Mhm.
I didn't pull the trigger. Annalise didn't pull the
I
trigger.
wasn't even
Amanda
there.
didn't pull the
Just
trigger.
a call me.
Mahira didn't pull the
Don't call
trigger.
me. No.
Stevenson pulled the trigger. We all going down for murder. I supposed to get the death penalty.
Yeah.
But as
No, it
all you know, and they probably know one of them had a gun. And if you know one of your brethren or your partners have a gun, you
That's
know
all-
situations You know
the
situations
probability of-
may escalate, and there is a probability, even if it's a 1% probability, that a killing or a shooting may take place.
Okay, but did I actually pull the trigger? Did I kill the person? Did I want to kill the person?
Who tell you go and rob
My
the bank?
virgin decided to take upon himself, man.
Who tell you rob the bank with somebody who have a gun?
I wasn't robbing the
It's
bank.
not murder, though.
I was not going there to commit this gruesome crime to kill anybody. Why am I going out for that penalty?
You know your virgin had the gun?
Some people.
It didn't even matter that I knew or not.
What? You knew your
Okay,
virgin had the
you
gun?
got a knife to hold up the bank. I know you
You
got
can
stab.
never knife with
You can-
He go with
Yeah.
a pencil. He can kill him out with a pencil. We watch John Wick and stuff. He kill him out with a pencil.
Not John Wick.
Not John Wick. You can kill person with a pencil. So I supposed to go up for murder as well? Exactly. Am I supposed to get that penalty?
First to begin with,
Yeah.
please tell them go and rob the bank.
Anyhow, and plus, we're not
Second to
talking
begin
about
with,
these
they
little
know things
murders.
can
We're not talking about these little
escalate.
murders.
We're talking
So-
about the
so-
gruesome. I
Let me
said,
talk about what's going on
That
in real
penalty is
country
only
now.
specific to the type of murder.
yes.
Wait, what?
Not in our book, Stevenson. If
Yeah.
if
That's what I am
That
saying.
is what
That is your
So you want to do a
opinion,
whole
but they
legal
can't-
reform? You want to change the whole law? Because according to law, you commit
murder,
Murder,
you get the death penalty. And that is what
It's simple.
that was the big debate between all the privy council cases, between our COAs here.
And you know why there's a big debate? Because as you all say, you all know what it means? Constitutional reform. The laws need to be updated to match the type of society that we live in today.
Or the moderation clause like the CCJ justice.
Yeah.
Okay, now we speak in morality. What about the innocent people in the prison system?
Y'all.
No, you have
Small percentage
So,
of people. Very, very
innocent
small.
life taken. You are trying to tell me that killing, let's say the death penalty for 5 actual murders, and we murder 1 innocent person. It's justifiable
Oh my God.
that this 1 life didn't
But
really
who
mean anything.
say? But
So you are giving value to life now?
what? But who say a murder happened today? The person going and get hanged by
Tomorrow.
next week, Monday or tomorrow.
No.
Who say
Common
that?
situations where 10, 20, 25, 30 years down the line, we now realize the man is innocent because new evidence come to light.
You know what he reflecting on? He reflecting on those crimes that happened way back when, and they kill innocent people. We had to try and remember too. Some of them people they kill them because they wanted to kill them. Just saying, not because they had evidence of the crime or anything like that. They killed them because they wanted to kill them, right? So that's the kind of things he reflecting on. Let me pay attention to modern day
But
society.
I am sure it
Exactly.
happens
We
in
have
Pay
technology.
attention to
prison
modern day
system.
society.
It happens plenty modern day as well. So we're talking about
Where's the
you
example?
may say, okay,
Where's
well,
the
yeah,
proof?
technology
Where
advanced
is
and
the
now
proof?
we can
Give-
get proper evidence.
Can you give us proof of a country that would have killed innocent people in this era?
We yet every single
Like,
day
come on.
incarcerated black people. They think they
Yeah,
make
because society. Society.
just the other day too.
different from
Okay,
ours.
so it happens the same thing. A man, and I will have to say a black man, dress up, he had dreads, he have a certain type of shit going on the road, and they mix him up for somebody. Police hold him, carry them to the station.
Over here or away?
Yeah, that happened here.
So you're genuinely believe that there are people, that there are no persons in our prison system that are innocent right now?
I'm not saying that. We're not saying that. We're not saying that.
No, it literally happens because I tell you. My father friend, he get thrown in, he get picked up by the police 3 times because they thought he was the same person. This happened in Tobago.
No, we understand that it have situations, and there may be a lot of situations
Where it could
where
happen.
that could happen.
So
right?
because it could happen, why are we having the death penalty?
But you acting like the holy person today, they go and get hung in the
Yeah, but there are
morning.
situations where
It
10,
don't
20
work
years
like
down the
that.
line. So wait, are they gonna imprison them for 50 years and then kill them?
That is no.
What?
And plus,
Well,
Oh my-
that is illegal.
Because
everything
there
is
are
consistent.
10, many people, there are 10, 20 years down the line and they are now innocent. And our system,
That because
our justice system, is
technology
terrible.
improved.
When my friend died, you know what was the first thing they said? You know what was the first thing that come out on the news? He was gang affiliated. That is why he died. The police didn't know him. The only police record he have is the actual police record. He'll go for to see that you have no record.
Listen,
how you could
public perception, that is public perception, right?
No, that's not
That is public because
perception.
oftentimes when you hear that a young black man
that
has been
reporters
murdered,
getting this information from.
wouldn't be the entire point of the media sometimes there's to create hysteria. There's one to create hysteria. There's one because a lot of the times
it come out that he was gang affiliated, that he was known to the police, right? All these things happen in our society. You always say it's just American society, but it happens in our society today. So the point is, if it's just, I don't care if it have 100 murderers. If one man is murdered innocently, that is crazy. The death penalty is something that is irreversible in our society. We cannot have an offense that is irreversible. We cannot change when we kill someone. That's the problem.
Yeah, bring them
And
back.
that's against
the point where it wasn't, was it the police who killed that individual?
No, it wasn't.
Okay.
But
They are
But-
instances
okay,
where police
but-
kill them.
Was it the police who killed that
But
individual?
they can't give them because there are multiple times when police go up in certain areas, I wouldn't say, that they think of somebody else and it was just like a 15-year-old walking by. And speaking of 15-year-old, how will they feel about killing young offenders? That's what that's my point of view.
Well, that's why I say we need some sort of reform and the law needs to be updated because
no.
because 15-year-old, 16-year-old, 14-year-old still have form for rehabilitation. Still have time for rehabilitation.
Okay.
Sorry.
So then, but I remember
21-year-old
you said only in gruesome at the start of this video. You said only in gruesome circumstances. I think you just give a blanket. So I'm not hearing that the argument changing.
Yeah, it's changed a little bit.
Yeah,
I think it's
because
hard to understand what is going on right now.
because you can't blanketly go and say you murder somebody dead. Because as I said, youth, right? They have a whole life ahead of them, right? To murder something that's still in the stage of reforming their mind and getting you're building your thoughts, you're building who you are, your self-esteem, you're actually now looking to your aspirations, all this stuff. To kill a life so prematurely before the person even lived, it's crazy. And these could be potentially future leaders, educators. People can seriously, I know.
I don't want to cut you. I really want to hear what is your thoughts on rehabilitation and murder.
You pull up, and you can't get away from the heartstrings. Imagine 13-year-old Veronica, right? Little Margaret, and little Daquan, you know. Shucking up on the chair and your mother crying. Yes.
We need to pull away from this emotion stuff.
No.
I understand what you're saying.
Rest, Uncle Bobby and the Quan and whatever.
Do you believe in rehabilitation?
No, but like
Yes.
Murderers.
Because Atal could be a murderer.
Extent.
At certain extent. Okay, what is the
he
extent?
lighten up a bit.
So I just want to hear the argument. Yeah.
When it comes to children, and we need to understand this, right? They, as you rightfully said, they have the possibility of leading a different life, a completely different life. We all understand when we did the video about children and people in different circumstances. We all know that some children grew up in a criminal family, grew up in criminal households, so it's different.
Yeah.
So when they actually go out and commit these crimes,
because their psychological makeup and everything is different.
exactly.
Literally.
So
Yeah.
So before
it would not. It would not be. How to say? Calm down. It would not be plausible or sensible. What's the word? Sensible, not sensible. To enact the death penalty
in that situation
on young offenders.
Okay. So we're recapping it. So what happens? I'm turning 21. Well, in Trinidad, I'm still a little young. I'm turning 21, right?
Yeah, man.
Next month, I'm waiting for the birthday presents. Anyhow, So our age for adult is 18, right? What about 18-year-old, the 19-year-old, the 20-year-old, the 21-year-old? 22, 23.
Listen, you know,
Are we killing them as well?
we are
Or
not
are they
legislators.
categorized as
Adults,
adults? Because they are adults, so they get in the full brunt of the penalty system. So at 18 I can't be reformed, at 19 I can't be reformed, at 20 I can't be reformed, at 21 I can't be
Don't
reformed.
tangle up yourself here.
No, because if 17, 16 I can be reformed, why at 18, 19 I can't be reformed?
Don't mix up yourself here, because you know what, when we reach in certain positions, then we can make them decisions. As of
Exactly.
now,
Wait.
as of now,
And you plan to
Last episode I said she have more vote. She don't have it anymore.
You're
what I'm saying is, right, this is something that we probably didn't think about. I don't know if Stevenson think about it. I don't want to speak for you, right? But when we get in certain positions, we have basically, we'll have a greater understanding, and we'll have a greater impact to make these decisions. I'm not saying like at 18 you cannot be reformed, but there is a certain age, a particular age, where you should have enough common sense to just not murder somebody.
So if I grew
I understand.
If I grew up in that life, in a sense, and that's all I ever knew.
You don't think that person has a chance of reform either. And it is not, and that's the thing. We as children, right? I say we because I still live in my mother's house.
Real.
We as children, right? We do not choose our families. We do not choose who our birth parents are. So it would be unfortunate that because I'm born to a mom or dad who living in a life of crime, and that is all I know. You don't think that is discriminatory in a sense? You don't find so that a person who born with criminal parents cannot be afforded the same opportunities for reform than a person who born in a middle class family, came from a nice home, who have a dog, a cat, and they just kill pigeons occasionally. You know? Yeah, I'm sorry, but you know that person is not who we thinking who it is. But you don't think it would be discrimination to think that person is beyond repair?
I think emotions a little high right now.
It's a topic that goes beyond an age. It goes to your personal morals as a person, and that is why it's difficult to set a clear line if whether we should have the death penalty or not, because and that is one of the reasons why I think the courts in our legal system try not to, they have some judges that are vocal about, but that's why nobody is hangers yet. I would say that's the reason why.
Yeah.
And that it is a touchy subject, because for me, I would say that everybody has the ability to change in society, and that's for me. That's maybe why I actually want to be a criminal defense lawyer.
Yeah.
Because I see that everyone has good in them in a sense. There are so many different
1%. All right.
No, they are like
It's still 1%. That's what you're trying to say. 1% is still 1%.
It's still, listen, everybody needs, I believe, the whole point of this crime and all that. People need to be able to forgive. Forgiveness is a hard thing to do.
We understand that forgiveness.
Yeah.
because there are so many factors that you need to take into consideration into individuals' lives before you just decide, well,
Okay, so what about reoffenders?
Real
Reoffenders, so these individuals that commit murder, we say, all right, okay, we forgive them, great, we forgive them, always forgive them. But then they go and commit another murder,
okay.
and then they do it again.
But how you get out?
Again.
I don't think that there's release.
Murder?
You wouldn't get released.
for
You wouldn't get
murder.
released. For murder, you
Where's bail?
But bail is supposed to be for a time period.
yeah, I don't think it's
Yeah,
it's
but
life
it's
without
still-
parole. It's life
Yeah.
without parole. So I don't think they can
That
come out
one
after.
part of it, and you all don't think having a person in jail for the rest of their life is
It's what?
It gives them time to reform and rehabilitate.
Exactly. Because in
Oh,
prison you
okay.
have
Okay.
programs. And
Yeah.
And they say the life imprisonment give them a chance to do further investigation as well, basically.
All that as
investigation.
well.
It's
I
like-
think that is
Into the crime that happened.
the problem is
Like
that
if given life imprisonment instead of the death penalty.
yeah. The thing is, there's so much factors that we need to take into consideration. And like we brought up real friendness and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's so much different circumstances.
I understand.
There's so many different circumstances. We can't expect the justice system to take into consideration every single circumstance. So
Because it will be costly.
exactly. So you can't come and say no. But you can't come and say no. Okay, I want to kill these certain people. You know what? This group of murders, you could die. This group of murders, you can die. This you can die. What happens to equality and stuff in society?
Yeah.
Without
Okay, but this is what I'm talking about. We do classify different sets of criminals. There's a petty thief and there are thieves that commit grand theft auto.
But we don't
well, yes, because I'm going to like manslaughter and things
but people to kill it don't classify them.
Yeah, you can't say use this type use type 1 murder, use type 2 murder, type 3 murder.
That's it. Reform. Update.
I think what the point we all figure out at the end is that you can't definitively say no or say yes.
That's true.
Well.
That's true.
No, definitely.
We can't say no or we can't
Yeah,
say yes.
you can't
We
just
say
say
our
plain
personal
flat
belief.
We could kind of almost
Say no?
say we could kind of almost say yes.
Yeah.
Yes, but
Definitively.
I'm very strong about this topic, you know.
But
And
no, when
at
you
least
say-
we're trying to meet all them.
I
I'm trying to see all
I try to meet all the 3/4.
because as I said,
That's what trying to meet us halfway.
because I could see all of you.
Exactly. You understand
Right?
them. We understand
Because
them.
when he died, I felt it.
Mhm.
We need to kill these people. So I could understand. But then what's the purpose? When we
Of
kill
course.
it, when we kill the
Get a
people, right?
sense of it.
When we
Of course.
kill a
But yes,
But anyways, Annalisa, at least I, as an individual, personal beliefs, I trying to meet all the kind of middle ground, right? The argument that you
I
all
try to reach all
present,
the quarter.
right?
I reach all the
You don't want to reach
No.
middle. You
I-
don't want to reach
I-
middle. Well, you're strong.
I want to reach
point.
quarter. I reach
at
quarter.
least it's not
Annalisa
me.
have her own beliefs, but she's
Yeah.
still.
I understand well.
No,
coming
yeah,
from.
I totally, as I said in my heart, when the boy died, I was like, we need to kill these people, or whatever,
Right.
like that.
Yeah.
So I could understand why, but no. But the thing is, why, when that happens, right, all we feel is what satisfaction that, yes, they off the street. We get revenge, in a sense. Revenge.
Justice, not revenge.
No, we get revenge.
Justice.
We get
Justice.
revenge because that's all the.
I don't think you'll classify that as
Revenge.
revenge. It's when
is
you
to-
go and personally do it for yourself.
Exactly. That is revenge. That we call vigilante justice. Right?
No, but all we feel in our heart is like,
This was me today.
and you're still gonna be sad, it's everything, but all in your heart is envy, hate, whatever, and it's like, yeah, they're dead now. So
That's why you need to put it in the hands of the state. The state
no,
handle
wait, the
it.
hands are good. So like, so what
Everybody
happened to
believe in God.
That's the
Yes.
thing, but what happened to forgiveness?
And even if you don't
You
believe in
can
the whole,
forgive.
Forgive and be mindful.
Mental
but
health.
that doesn't mean
Forgive and don't be a fool.
Forgive, but don't be a fool.
Forgive and be mindful.
Forgive
Thank
and
you.
don't be a fool. Thank you.
Very
Thank
juicy, very demure.
Anyhow, so it's like, no death penalty.
No, it was me.
She's like,
We meet in halfway. And then it's meeting halfway. We meet in halfway.
I'll meet you a quarter. A quarter.
Anyhow,
A quarter is better than none.
Right.
Same
A
time.
quarter halfway. You see?
So guys, we would like to hear honestly your views on this death penalty episode. I want to curl with some of you all. We posted stuff for you all to reply to and you all didn't reply to it, but
My.
we will follow this one. Yeah.
Yeah, we want to call with you. You're
We
silly
thank
problem.
you all for the continued support and stuff. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, post.
Comment.
Anything to do to increase our engagement. Comment exactly. We want to hear your thoughts as well on the death penalty.
Follow the Instagram. We forgetting that.
Yeah. And if you have a
at the
topic,
AWS show.
correct. And if you have a topic that you all want us to speak on, tell us that as
Yeah,
well.
we like to hear your ideas as well because I mean we are not just doing this for us, but we're doing it for you all as well. So we want to hear your feedback as well, you know. And if you want to be on the podcast, I mean, you could always shoot us a message, you know, anytime.
Oh, you think it should be on the podcast?
Or who you even want would like because we can't guarantee that we will get them, but who you would like to see on the podcast? And this how was
I would
it?
like Dr. Alfonso on this podcast.
Dr. Alfonso, if you see this. But at least how was it?
It was good. It was fun. Considering what we went through to just get this started. It was good. I like it.
Wink,
I like
wink,
it.
wink,
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 wink.
wink,
Even though,
wink.
you know,
But no, we thank you. We really want to thank you for being here. We appreciate it. Well, I most likely appreciate your views a lot because
God.
let me tell you why I say that because if Annalise wasn't here, it might have been a 2v1. If you understand what I say.
No.
I might just cry in the
Somebody
background.
against him. He's in the world
That's
against
why
him.
I said you would have been one-on-one.
At least I would have tried to meet on the middle though.
Yeah, our
Yeah.
meeting.
I understand.
From half the quarter.
But nah, Annalise brought a fresh perspective, and that was really, really good.
Thank you.
Yes, we want to thank you for being here. The stress we went through with this episode.
Yeah.
Thank you for sticking with us.
You don't
and,
understand.
Trade shade to somebody on the side. But
It's anyway.
Thank you. Thank you.
but yes, thank you all for being here as well.
Looking forward to seeing you all in the next episode.
Yeah, Kakris, right. Bye guys.
Bye.